Let's talk nutrition. What you eat and when you eat it have a profound effect on the quality of your sleep. Nutrition isn't just about fueling your body during the day. It also sets the stage for a restorative rest at night. So in this module, we're going to explore key principles of sleep supportive nutrition, from balancing your meals to understanding how specific nutrients and meal timing can influence your sleep. By the end of this, you'll have a better understanding of how to align with your own personal nutrition and your sleep goals with practical tips on how to implement today. So let's start with all the ways our food and hydration affect sleep. And what better place to start than the gut? Did you know that 90% of the body's serotonin, a precursor to melatonin, is produced in the gut? This means that the health of your gut microbiome can directly influence your sleep-wake cycle. The gut communicates with the brain through this gut-brain axis, a bidirectional network that regulates stress, mood, and sleep. If your gut health is compromised, this communication breaks down, often leads to poor sleep quality and increased stress. That brings me to inflammation, and something that has become abundantly clear over the past 15 years is that poor diet causes inflammation in the body and can be absolutely a contributor to sleep issues. So it does this by elevating the stress hormone like cortisol, which suppresses melatonin production, makes it harder to fall asleep. Inflammation signals can also interfere with REM sleep, the stage that is crucial for memory and emotional regulation. Also, chronic conditions linked to inflammation like arthritis and digestive issues often cause discomfort that disrupts sleep. Next, we have to consider balancing your blood sugar. High blood sugar levels before bed can create an energy surge, right, making it harder to fall asleep. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, a sharp drop in blood sugar during the night can trigger the stress hormone of cortisol, as we talked about, and this wakes you up. Consistent blood sugar levels through the day reduce stress in your body, helping you to maintain a calm and balanced state through the night. Lastly, hydration. It is essential for your overall health, but it also has a significant impact on sleep. Go figure. Even mild dehydration can lead to discomfort, dry mouth, dry nasal passages, or even leg cramps, which will interfere with deep stages of sleep. Also, proper hydration supports the body's ability to regulate temperature, which is essential for entering and maintaining deep sleep. So back to nutrition. What the hell do we even eat? It does not have to be super complicated. There are a few simple rules to follow, and if you do that, you will get at least 90% of the way there. So much of the internet has made it very complicated, and as I'll say many times, you will break the internet trying to find the perfect diet. First, and maybe most important rule, is no processed foods. This means trying to eat whole, real foods that don't come in packages and boxes. This can look like meats, fruits, veggies of all varieties. They're all fair game. If you're looking for a guide that can help you figure out what is processed and what isn't, consider looking at the Whole30 diet. It's an incredible place to start, and there are all sorts of shopping lists and recipes online. I'd love to suggest it because of how robust it is. In my opinion, it's the most anti-inflammatory diet out there right now. All right, so next, avoid added sugars. Fruits are great, but any processed added sugars will increase inflammation and can affect blood sugar regulation. Stay mostly organic. Pesticides and the low quality of soil that non-organic food is grown in absolutely affects our health. If budget is an issue, there's a yearly release of what they call the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, right? So which 12 non-organic veggies have the most pesticides and which 15 have the least. This can come in handy when trying to consider which one to try from a financial perspective. Then we move into cook for yourself. 80% of the time, eating out will always be less healthy than cooking for yourself. The oils they use and the quality of ingredients are lacking, plus they focus on flavor, not health. So making a general rule that of course you're gonna go out and still need to live your life, but far majority of the time, cook in, enjoy the art of cooking, make it a bonding experience. It can be a really special thing. Another rule I'm gonna put in there is stay hydrated, as we mentioned the importance of that. Now, above all else, pay attention to how the food makes you feel. This is maybe the most important concept. As I said, you will break the internet trying to find the perfect diet. This is why eating intuitively is so important. Pay attention to how your body feels after a meal. Do you feel heavy, brain fog, stomach ache, loose stools, extra tired? All of these could be signs that the food you are eating aren't complementing your body. So listen and adjust. If you are really looking to hone in on your diet, I would do an elimination diet. This can help your body to start fresh and build a stronger intuition for what feels good and what digests easily and what doesn't. Again, an easy way to do this would be eating Whole30. It's not hugely restrictive. So doing that for minimum 2 weeks, ideally 4 weeks. And from there, begin to reintroduce stuff that you really like or feel like you're missing, and you may not be. It was interesting is noticing how when we eat in a new style, one that really serves us, we may stop missing some of those old foods that weren't as good for us. So again, these simple shifts will get you at least 90% of the way there to better health without all the overwhelm. So keep it to real foods, keep it delicious, and you can't go wrong. All right, so when you eat is actually a really important factor. Proper meal timing supports your body's natural circadian rhythms and prepares you for restorative sleep. So here's why it matters. Digestive efficiency. Eating too close to bedtime can lead to indigestion, acid reflux, making it harder to fall asleep and stay comfortable. Hormonal regulation. Meal timing affects hormones like insulin and cortisol, which in turn impacts melatonin production. A consistent eating schedule supports a stable circadian rhythm. Energy management. Front-loading your calories earlier in the day aligns with your body's natural energy peaks, leaves you less hungry and more relaxed by evening. Again, guidelines, and I say that with a huge caveat because you have to learn what works for your body. So to be more specific, finishing dinner about 2 hours before bed, this gives your body time to digest and prevents discomfort during the night. Also, eating your first meal earlier in the day, right? So one way to signal the body that it's time to get up is by eating that first meal. It signals, hey, okay, we're up, we're using everything's going online, it's time to fuel. Another factor is eating your first meal earlier in the day. Some people are doing the intermittent fasting thing, so by keeping it a bit earlier, something to play with, you signal to the body and tell your cells that, hey, this is time to get up, it's time to be activated, we're putting fuel in, it gets things moving. Avoid late night snacking. Now, if you really need a snack at night, you have a high metabolism, then keep it light but also satiating, like a handful of nuts, but don't make it a big meal. Oftentimes then a lot of energy is going to go towards digestion instead of sleep. Experiment with intermittent fasting. A 12-hour fasting window is not extreme, but also gives your body and your digestive system a break to improve sleep regulation. So again, meal timing helps regulate your circadian rhythm and reduces the likelihood of disruptions during the night. All right, so I have to comment on these. 2 common disruptors for sleep are caffeine and alcohol. Let's break them down. Caffeine can affect your body for up to 12 hours, so try to avoid it after midday. The earlier the better. And honestly, if you're a light sleeper, this is one to really consider getting rid of completely. It will take time to adjust, but in time you absolutely will. And for sure you will. And for sure, if you start sleeping better, the more natural energy you will have anyways. Be on the lookout for hidden sources of caffeine like chocolate, tea, other random drinks. And as a consideration, gradually reduce caffeine intake can prevent the withdrawal symptoms while still improving your sleep quality. Alcohol. While it may make you feel drowsy or even like you're fully knocked out in the night, alcohol disrupts REM sleep and can lead to fragmented rest. It dehydrates the body and exacerbates snoring and sleep apnea for some people. It even raises the body's temperature, which won't allow you to go through your full sleep cycles normally. So no matter how you slice it, alcohol is not good for sleep. I highly suggest limiting or really completely avoiding this, especially in the hours before bed. If you want to take your sleep seriously, this is an important step. I just want to speak from experience in that it's amazing how most people don't realize how good they can feel when they start eating healthy, even just for a period of time. So to recap, support your gut health and reduce inflammation with the right foods. Time your meals to align with your body's natural rhythm. Experiment with dietary resets like Whole30 to identify these triggers. Prioritize whole foods over processed. And then limit or avoid caffeine and alcohol to minimize disruptions in your sleep cycle. Start by making 1 or 2 of these changes and observe how they impact your sleep. Nutrition isn't a one-size-fits-all thing, so listen to your body and adjust as needed. And as always, thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. Sleep well.